main event slot, a mid card slot, and a tag team slot, much like an actual faction. You have that kind of designation for it. And then in the solo player modes, especially the ladder climb, you can do main event match, and you have to use your main eventer, or tag team matches, you have to use your tag team. But on the online version, what would be cool is you would have three, basically three different divisions. So you could have your tag, your mid card, and your main event. And I think you could do this for, say, you have a Raw show, SmackDown, NXT, and you can have multiple factions, save slots for each one. But the way online can work would be, let's say, your tag division, right? You do, if you do that, you're playing tag matches against a online competitor, and they randomize the match type, right? And you have to get 5 wins. And once you get 5 wins, you get to challenge for the tag team titles, right? So that next match you do online will be for tag team titles. If you win, you become a tag team champion, and every match after that, you have to defend the titles essentially, right? And that all counts as stats for those specific cards and for your faction as a whole, right? So, and you have the tag division, which could be, let's say, you have to win 5 matches to get a title shot. Mid card division, you got to win 7 matches to get a title shot. And maybe main event, you have to win 10 matches to get a title shot. And this online progress and stats can be tracked. So let's say you have, your faction and you've been playing for a while, and you say, you name it, let's say it's the Bloodline, for example, and you got Roman Reigns, Solo, Usos. You can put whoever in it, but let's just simply say it's that. Uh, and then under the Bloodline stats, let's say you won titles, it can say 2-time world champion, 3-time tag team champion, stuff like that. So you have online stats to compare your stable against other online stables, but also that, let's say you did that Roman card, you won 2 titles with. You have individual super stats too. That would be a cool way to make the My Faction concept a little more realistic, but also add this online version where, okay, I unlocked this awesome Cody Rhodes card. Now I can use it to compete and win world titles, right? And you can do that. You can have Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, so you can win all the different title types there are with different factions. And that way, you can have a faction for each brand, and maybe even a couple faction saves for that brand if you decide, you unlock, let's say, Raw, right? And you have a current faction of the Bloodline, but you also unlock Shawn Michaels, Triple H want to do DX, you can do another save for Raw for DX and do stuff like that. But I think adding some kind of online element that's competitive, that allows you to win titles and tracks your stats as a faction, would make that mode more playable, and people would want to unlock those cards and be able to, show off, hey, my faction has 12 title wins, and your faction, my friend's faction, only has 6, and try to be the best faction of all time and all that. Especially since now their online play is getting competitive. It's not as glitchy with the stop glitch and stuff like that, where it was very easy to glitch your way to a win in the past. That's kind of going away, and the My Faction has set stats, so you don't have to worry about created wrestlers or created overpowered move sets and stuff like that. You just have that specific wrestler and that specific move set. So it kind of creates this online play that's fair play, that's fun, and rewards you for progress, but you can compare your competitive stats against the other one.